guys, how's it going? Today we're going to be learning how to make a Flappy Bird game on Scratch, similar to this one I made right here. So as you can see, there's a realistic gravity effect, and we can press the space bar to jump. And the goal of this game is to make it past the pipes without touching them or the ground. But if we do, then we lose. It's game over for us. So without further ado, let's get into this. Okay, first make a new game, then delete the cat. After that, paint a new sprite and go and click circle, make the color yellow, and just draw a circle. Now this is going to be for the bird's head. Then get rid of the outline, and there we go. After that, make the bird's eye. Hold shift to make it a perfect circle. And there we have it. We have the bird's eye. Next, we're going to make the bird's beak. So we're going to make the color orange and just draw a beak. Nice little beak like that. Then send it to the back layer to make it look more realistic. After that, we're going to be making the wing. We're going to make another yellow color, and we're going to create an outline on this. Then we're going to actually make the wing and tilt it a little bit. And there we go. We have a nice little wing right there. Okay, now let's make the animation that the bird is actually flapping his wings. So in order to do this, we need to duplicate this costume, then bring the wing down a little and turn it. And then we need to duplicate this costume again and bring the wing down a little and turn it. And there we have it. We have the three costumes that the wing is actually flapping. Okay, now let's make the backdrop. We first go to backdrops, then we click convert to bitmap. Bitmap is really good for creating gradient backdrops. Then we click on the fill tool, and after that we need to click the color tool. Now instead of making it be a solid color, we're going to make it be a gradient. And the first color of the gradient, I'm going to make it be this little nice dark blue color. The second color, I'm going to make it be a light blue color. And you just click it and it becomes a nice little gradient backdrop. Another thing that you're going to need to do is convert to vector and click on the rectangle tool and make the color be green. Make a little ground block over there. This is going to make the game look a little bit more realistic, and it's also going to help us a lot in the code. Okay, now before we get coding, we also need to create two variables called score and gravity. You'll see why in a minute. Okay, now let's get coding. We first get out a when go clipped block, and then a go-to block. But make sure the bird is where you want it to be before you get the go-to block. Then you get out a forever loop, a next costume block, and a wait block. And make this wait 0.1 seconds. Now, essentially what this should do is it should make the bird automatically flap its wings. Alright, now let's test it out. And it works. Okay, now let's get the bird to be pulled down by gravity. So we get another when go clicked block, and then a forever loop, then a change gravity block, but this change gravity is going to be changed gravity by -1. Then we're going to wait 0.1 seconds. Okay, but right now this code won't do anything because I've just coded the variable and not the actual movement. So to make sure the movement is being affected, we need to put a forever loop and then a change y gravity. And then we need to put a when go clicked on top of there. So now it's going to make sure that the movement is actually being affected. So now let's test out. Now it should just pull it downward. And it works. Okay, that's all good, but now let's get the bird to actually jump. So we're going to use the space key to do so. Now we're going to get another when go clicked block. And we're going to get out a forever loop. Then we're going to get an if then statement. And then we're going to say if space key is pressed, set gravity to 2. And then we have to wait 0.1 seconds. This is going to make him jump if we press the space bar. Okay, so let's test it out now. And it works. It's jumping whenever I press the space bar. Also, at the very start of the game, we have to make sure gravity is being set to 0 before it actually starts falling. That way it's going to be fair for the user. Okay, now let's move on to the pipes. We first create a new sprite, and then we make the color purple. After that, we need to click rectangle and make the actual pipe. So we just make a rectangle like that, and make a smaller rectangle. Then we just make an even smaller rectangle like that, and then make a larger rectangle like that, and make a small rectangle. There we have it. We have our first pipe. What we need to do next is duplicate this costume and just go to the selection tool, hold shift to select them all, and just bring it downwards like that to make 2 costumes, one pipe up, one pipe middle. Then we're going to make one more pipe down. So we hold shift to select them all. Then we just make the pipe down. And we just expand that. And there we go. We have 3 costumes. Pipe up, pipe middle, and pipe down. Now, let's move this pipe all the way to the right. I'll tell you why in a second. Okay, so what do we want the pipes to do? Well, we want them to start on the right edge and move slowly all the way to the left edge. So here's how we do that. We get out a when go clicked block, a forever block, a switch costume block, but the costumes are going to be a random costume from 1 all the way to 3. And we're also going to get a go-to block, and this go-to is anywhere on the right edge. And that spot's going to do well for me, so I'm just going to plug it in. Then we're going to go to looks and get out a show block, and then a glide block. But make sure you move the pipe to anywhere on the left edge before you take out the glide block. I want to make it farther on the edge. What about, there. There's perfect. And then change this 1 second to 10 seconds. And then go to looks again and get out a hide block. And so essentially what this will do is it'll pick a random pipe and it'll go over to the left. It may seem like the bird's going to the right, but it's really the pipe going to the left. Okay, let's test it out now. And it works. It's just going to the left, and it seems like the bird's going to the right. Okay, and it repeats that same process again. Another thing that's really necessary for the scoring process is we have to click on the rectangle tool, and at the right of each pipe, we have to make this little orange line. As I said, it's completely necessary for the scoring. If you don't put this in, it won't work. Now let's get the actual scoring process. Remember we put that orange line just to the right of the pipe? Well, it's going to come in handy now. We say when go clicked forever, and then we get an if then statement. We say if touching color, then that orange right over there, then change the score variable by 1. and wait 5 seconds. Now, the reason we put that wait 5 seconds is because the bird spends a fair bit of time in the orange. So if we didn't do that, then it would not just change the score by 1, but it would go up tremendously. That's why I put the wait 5 seconds. Now we finally get the game over code. We put a when go clicked block, then a forever loop, then we say if touching color green, as in green for the ground, or we get an or block, or touching color purple, as in purple for the pipe, then we need to broadcast a new message called game over. Okay, so we broadcast game over. Then after that, we need to put when I receive game over, hide. Just make the sprite hide. And also copy this script to the pipe. So inside of the bird code, put a show block right over here. This is going to ensure that the bird shows whenever the game's going. Then make a new sprite, and this is going to be the game over sprite. And just make the color red, choose a font to whatever you want, and write the words game over. Then increase the size of it. And just go to the code and say when I receive game over, show, and stop all. And also say when the green flag is clicked, hide. Or when go clicked, hide. Let's test it out now. So as you can see, there's a realistic gravity effect, and you can press the space bar to jump. And as you can see, the game over mechanism works. Now let's see if the score mechanism works. Well, you might want to just decrease the size of the bird. Just to make it a little bit easier. I'm just going to decrease it to 30. Maybe that's going to make it a bit easier. Alright, now let's try the scoring mechanism. Okay. Alright, now. And as you can see, everything works all good. Okay, that's it for another tutorial. I really hope you found this educational and instructive. Tune in for the next tutorial. Bye, guys!